Well, greetings, 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 everyone. We are excited about being here. We want to welcome you this morning to LKM Kingdom Living Leslie's Lessons Learned. And our topic is still Yahweh is my shepherd. Let's get started. Welcome everyone today. We're excited to have our very own apostle with us today. But we have a few things we have to do, apostle, before we get started. And one is I always say I'm going to stop with the mirror, and someone tells me what the mirror does for them.
Aw.
So it's like, okay, so I'll just keep on with the mirror. But, I'm grateful for the look in the mirror. I'm grateful to be able to say, not is life worth living, but to know that my life is valuable and worth living. And if you looked in the mirror this morning and you wanted to know, was life worth living? Well, just because you asked that question, you still have purpose in life. You still have something that you need to do in life. So we want you to be encouraged. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of talking this morning, but we had this one video that we do. And, oh, I brought it up the wrong place. And we're going to do the video. And then we're going to.
What did you do to my sign?
I wrote the same, but in different words.
Thanks, love.
So it's so important that you understand that. And I'm going to let Minister Wanda do her thing.
Well, what I love about the video is like it says, if you change your words, you change your world. And he, in the beginning, was just saying, I'm blind. I can't see. Help me. And she changed it to the fact it's had the same meaning but different words. So the perspective on it changed. She changed it to, it's a beautiful day, but I can't see it. And when you change your words, you change your world. The fact of the matter is that we live in a voice activated kingdom. And what you speak out of your mouth changes and shapes the reality of your world. And so each day when you wake up and suppose life is not the best for you right now, and we begin to speak that out negatively, you begin begin to change your world. So immediately when she changed those words that it's a beautiful day, but I can't see, people began to give. And as you saw, his world began to change. So we just want you to begin to shift your words and change them because this world needs you. We have a saying here that states that life without you is like a world without color. Those are some beautiful words, right? And they mean something. A life without you in it is like a world without color. And if you're looking at us right now, you can see the array of color: yellow, black, white, peach, black. Prophet Leslie has on an apostle, I believe it's a peachish salmon color, right? But imagine if the world was just black, white, and gray. You wouldn't have the ability to see the beauty that these colors bring. And that's the same thing it is with you, with Yahweh, our Elohim, our creator. He made each of us a unique color, and your color adds a splash to the beautiness of this world. And so without you in it, we're missing a piece of that beautiful puzzle. So I want everybody to say it with me this morning. A life without me is like a world without color. Did y'all say it?
A
Did you?
life without me is like a world without color.
And just in
Apostle
case
right there.
you don't have the strength to say it, I'm going to say it for you. A life without you, yes, you, is like a world without color. And guess what? You are uniquely made in your own right, often imitated, but baby, never duplicated. Yahweh made you just the way you are, and we need your color in this world. So we're glad that you're here and you have a purpose and a destiny. Miss Leslie?
Yes, but you tell us about your event that's coming up.
Oh, well, I do have an event coming up. It is actually February the 8th at 3 p.m. That's Pacific Standard Time. So it would be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's an in person event. It's going to be held in Antioch, California at the Lemon Tree. Title is Enough is Enough. And we have two powerful speakers. Nicole Holmes, which is from Antioch. She's going to talk about enough is enough with self-sabotage. And I will be speaking enough is enough when it comes to procrastination. We have a couple more speakers. We're just waiting for them to give us the confirmation, but the final speaker of that day will be Dr. Anissa Mathis, and she is just going to seal everything that you hear that day. We are working on making sure that it's live streamed. It is a free event for all of those that are in Northern California with me, Oakland, San Francisco, or Costa County, Alameda County. You can drive over this time with us. So we're excited about it, and I believe it's going to change lives. That's the flyer. Enough is enough.
Yeah, I'm having problems with it, but this is the flyer. And planes, trains, or automobiles, whatever way you need to get there, to get what you need, I promise you, you don't want to miss it. So we're excited about the event coming up. And now on for Apostle, he is to most people known. Most people know him, not everybody, but we thank him for taking the time out of his busy schedule today to be here. We appreciate it so much because you don't have to, but you did. And, so Apostle V.W. Jones is the pastor of the DeRoss Kingdom Ministries, and he has VW Jones or VWJ Worldwide Ministries.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough. Yes, 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 yes.
Enough is enough.
So you can find Apostle on Clubhouse, especially whenever we have a function or an event or a service, I should say. Today we'll have the Mara after Sabbath service, and that will be on Clubhouse as well as YouTube. During the week, starting in February, we're going back to our proceeding word. And the proceeding word is where we learn about events, current events, and how it is connected the to the word, to Torah, and how it changes your life. I promise you, if you want a life-changing experiences, you need to join some of these sessions. We have Wednesday night, which is our midweek Bible study, and that's at around 7:30ish during the week. And then we have on Thursday night the Bible Book Club. And the Bible Book Club is where we come together. We've been in Exodus for a minute. I think what are we on? Chapter 8. Have we passed chapter 8 yet? But just the fact that it takes a moment to get through the word. You can't rush it.
Years to get through the word.
It takes years.
I
It's a slow cooking process.
think the objective is for the word to get through you.
Yes.
So in some cases, depends on how hard your head is to let the water of the word to get through. There's a thing called Chinese torture. One of the techniques they used to use. If you take a drop of water, even though it's a concrete slab, and you just keep dripping that water on that dehydrated dirt, eventually it will hydrate it enough to break through that hardness. So in many cases, I hope I didn't mess up your advertisement, but it doesn't take a minute to get through the word. It takes a minute for the word to get through us.
It's so true. So true.
I just saw a bird.
You probably will see many because you're sitting outside.
That was good. That was good.
So, and that's so true. And someone was worried about something they was learning in the word. I was like, let it sink in. It's going to take a minute. It's not going to happen all at one time. And that's something that it's like he says, hearing and hearing and hearing. We have to hear. We have to get that word on the, yes, very deep teaching, deep calleth unto deep. And to really understand what that means, it means a whole new thing to me now. It used to be just like, oh, deep calleth unto, no. Mm-mm-mm. That's a clarion call right there. But yes, and we also have what we have as yesterday is our Sabbath. We're Sabbath keepers. So on Saturday, we're studying the word and we're pushing the world aside. And I promise you, if you want to go deep, sit in the Sabbath, and you will you will gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you never had because you're sitting with the Father. So I don't want to take up too much more time because I want Apostle to kind of close us out. He says we call him in after we do all the talking.
Because I'm going home. I'm going back to the party with the family. Then I'm going to go down to the studio. Matter of fact, I may just be here at this point. It's just a beautiful thing. But no, you guys are always with words of lessons learned. And I think that is what gives an impactful, we say testimony within Christendom. But the truth is it's what makes the kingdom, as we like to say, go round. We overcome, thankfully, by the blood of the Lamb.
We have a surprise.
But also by the word of our testimony. And Shalom, how are you? So glad to have you, Dr. Mathis. Oh,
Shalom, Apostle.
This is
Shalom,
going to be
everyone.
fun.
It's on you,
Welcome,
Apostle.
welcome, welcome.
You know how I eat my peanut butter and jelly sandwich? That's not my little happy dance. That just happened just now.
It's on you, Apostle.
No, but they were just sharing, and I'm sure you've been with them as well, Dr. Ennis and Dr. Mathis, and you have them drop these nuggets and then tell you to pick up the scrapnel they've blown the place up with, and now you got to come in and clean up with the pickup and the dump truck and the water to put the fire out. They didn't start it, then they act like we did something. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. So what are we doing today? What do we got? I'm so glad to be here with you guys.
We're happy to have you. We're happy to have Dr. Mathis with us as well. Thank you so much for being here. We are still talking about
Enough is enough.
Go ahead. You keep saying it.
Enough. It won't leave me right now. Enough is enough. And we ain't even got to preach that. That's a real thing. I'm sorry, that's your program. Prophetess Leslie, would you please continue with the lessons learned for today?
We have been in Psalms 23, and we just want to sum it up, kind of, just continue with it. The more I read it and study it, the more powerful it becomes to me. And in the process of that, just realizing who Yahweh really is, and how the 13 attributes just sits right in there, like it settles in there. And it is so much a part of it. I thought about how even Psalms 91, how the word just comes together, And so, Apostle, I'm going to let you talk about it.
Well, I don't really think that we should be the ones talking about it. I think we should be the ones, as you said earlier, absorbing it, because it takes a minute. Before you came on, Dr. Mathis, there was a statement, a wise, profound, prolific statement from Prophetess Leslie, then followed up by another jaw-dropping statement from Minister Wanda. And that statement was that, we've been going through the Bible every week pretty much, and and they're laughing at how long it takes us to get through the Bible. It's been 3 years and we've not even gotten past the book of Exodus chapter 7, when people have read the Bible through 5 times in a year. So there's a difference in understanding that. So the statement is, we shouldn't be the ones talking about it. We should be letting the writers talk to us about it. And so the statement that was prolific was that, it takes a while for us to get through the word. And I really want to put some kind of a statement back to that, a retort to that. No, it doesn't take us a while to get through the word. It takes the word a while to get through us, because we have intellectually blockers and filters and world constructs that sort of kind of work against the goal and the initial instruction of Elohim. Because Adam messed us up. We got this knowledge of good and evil, and we think we know every daggone thing, right? And the truth is that we know every damnable thing. All right. So at the end of the day, when we let the word do its job, it's cool. So to that statement, Prophetess, I love the first verse of this passage and chapter. Psalms 23 is probably on everybody's dashboard on their car, getting suntanned and leathered and dried and crackled, and hard binders have flown through windows at accidents. And some of y'all got it sitting on your your end tables at your home, or on display over the the fireplace somewhere opened up to Psalms 23, and the Lord is my shepherd. But if you really listen to that statement, and Dr. Mathis, either one of you, just when you feel the need to tag team in, do so. But I really want to stop at verse 1, because it addresses what you just said, Prophetess Leslie. Let's talk about it. No, let's listen. He that has an ear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to us as the church. Listen to what look at what David said, the author who has testimonies of the goodness of Elohim eking out of his hair follicle. Okay, that's how much this man has the word of experiences and testimonies of Elohim. And the one that I want to talk about is verse 1. And he says this very clear statement: Yahweh is my shepherd. I shall not want. Now, what Elder Wanda stated earlier was the fact that we live in a voice activated kingdom. What you say, it's not this thing called manifesting in the sense that we are doctrinizing and causing viral, to go the term manifesting. You can't really put it in the same category. As they say out west, they not like us. When the kingdom is talking about putting something in perspective, David says, Yahweh is my shepherd. Because of that, I shall not want. Now let's break this down for the sense that everybody needs to understand it. Psalms 1 states Yahweh. Now the word Yahweh, as y'all already know, I'm gonna look it up. Wanda got me, Elder Wanda got me looking up everything on the planet, from crackers to baking soda. All right, so if you look at it, when he says Yahweh is the Hebrew word H3068. One of the attributes of Elohim, right? Which is where we get the plurality, yet the singularity of the divine creator. So now Yahweh is, in fact, what you would call within Christendom, due to translation, the word that they call Jehovah. But remember, there is no J in the day that David is alive in the Hebrew language. There is no Jew. There is no Judea. Got it? So there is no Jehovah, but there is Yahweh. Got it? Before y'all think I'm tripping, there is Yahweh. And I know you all with me on panel aren't think I'm tripping, but those that might be viewing. So let this be another Leslie's lesson learned for y'all. Because when he says Yahweh, Yehovah, right? He's indicating, listen to this, the self-existent and all eternal is my shepherd. Now, the thing I like about David is he himself is one of the best, greatest shepherds you're ever going to meet. David has always been, much like Messiah said, I must be about my Father's business. So when David talks about being a shepherd, and then we also use the type of Messiah being the great shepherd, it's David, his great granddaddy, like it or not, who actually says Yahweh, the self-existent and all eternal one, is my shepherd. And because of that, voice activated kingdom, I shall not want. It doesn't matter what I need, I won't want anything, because as a shepherd to these sheep that my daddy Jesse told me to go watch, because I'm the runt of the family, I'm the disgrace of the family, I'm the black sheep of the family, because I'm the one that was done in the dark in the booth in the back, and everybody now has a scandal about it. Nobody wants to bring me out and present me to anybody. They even had to beg, the prophet had to beg to get me out the back fields of the shepherds. He says, because I've always been cast out. God, I got to stop down. Because I've always been capped out, and because I'm out here now forced to do the one thing most of us prefer not to do, I've become an expert at shepherding. I've killed a bear to protect these sheep my daddy told me to go watch so we can eat and make money. I've killed a lion to protect these sheep. I've been feeding them. I sing to them at night with my heart. I pray over them with my soul. I stand guard at night with them. I prepare a place for them to be in. And ever since I've done my Father's business, whenever my Father tells me to do something, I don't care what the scenario is, even though I'm one that has to get in to fit in, I got to find a way to be relevant to what's supposed to be my family. King David says, I'm a shepherd of shepherds. Because now I'm not just watching over Jesse's sheep. Now I've graduated and elevated because of obeying my natural father. You know, if you be faithful over a few things, Yahweh will make you ruler over much. He says, now I'm over the sheep of Israel. I protect them. We even sing to them. We have the feasts. Every time Yahweh calls for us to come in, and I demand everybody show up. Y'all gonna talk about this someday next week. Do you understand what we're saying here? So when he says this, he's not talking because he's preaching. This man is sitting down in his memoirs of life, having fought Goliath and the Philistines, having taken 200 foreskins, having been a wife given him and taken away from him, and then went and got her back and then told her to go home. I'm just putting it out there. All the things that David has done. He has been a shepherd, and he is sitting down in his memoirs thinking, I want to say, I can't say, but I want to say, I want to say he was in Shabbat, contemplating all that Yahweh had done, indicating, crying out, look what Yahweh has done. He healed my body. He healed my mind. You know what? He saved me just in time. Oh, I'm going to praise his name. Yahweh is my shepherd. And I've noticed that whenever I, as his sheep, like when my sheep follow me, a bear can't ever get them. A lion will never touch them. A marauder will never steal them. A fox will never nip at their feet, because I am protective, and he in my life is just like I am in their life. So David is not just saying something because he wanted to create a Hallmark card. This man is speaking from his soul. Man, look here. He provides for me. He leads me in pastures of rightness, just because of his eternal existence, self-existence. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but this is more than just, again, some statement so he can say, I left my memoirs on the earth. This man, this just came out of his soul, and it's now put on pen, and we have the benefit of hearing it. But no, we want to preach it, we want to teach it, we want to shout it like we know it, and we never got to understand it. Dr. Mathis, I don't know, help me understand this, because I'm realizing when he says that Yahweh is my shepherd, the self-existent and eternal creator of heaven and earth and all that therein is, the cattle that I shepherd on 1,000 hills belongs to him. Tag you it, Doctor Mathis. Tag. Y'all gonna get me to get here. I start spitting all over my stuff. No.
David understood who his father really was. He literally understood. You have to think, when history tells us that he is out there as the black sheep of the family, they put him out there because he's not really considered to be in the fold, if you will. Who else would he depend on? Yeah, he's out there talking to the sheep, the cats, the cows, the goats, all that. They're not talking back, but he's talking. But the one that he could depend on to protect him, because even when he talks about the battles or protecting the sheep and taking care of them and making sure they're not stolen, he has to depend on someone, because the shepherd that he has is his leader. I love how he says in Psalms 32:8, I will instruct thee. I will teach thee in the way that thou should go. I will guide thee with mine eye. He could not do that. He couldn't be the shepherd without having the guidance of Yahweh, without having the protection, without having the direction, the guidance. And that's every day. That's not just for one day. Just not just, this week and maybe next week we'll see what happens. This was an everyday thing, because his bio dad wasn't checking up on him. His bio brothers definitely weren't checking up on them. They hated him because he looked better than them. Let's just be clear with that, because nowhere in the scripture does it detail his brothers in the manner that he's detailed in his looks. But he understood the importance early on. And that's the thing, when we take this and look at him, we find out that early on, when you have been called to a purpose, you know who your shepherd is early on. You have to, because the battles come, the warfare comes. My daughter Wanda and I were talking about this yesterday. I got warfares up to yin yang right here. Craziness coming from everywhere. but you have to know who Yahweh is. And he, being his shepherd, is what helped to prepare him for the battles that were coming later, not just presently. So, you could take that one line right there, Psalms 23, and deal with it and do the benediction, and it's all over with. Because this says everything. Like, it talks about my past, talks about my present, it talks about my future, and anything in between. Yahweh got me. That's my take.
I love that, because it's not that he just got you. He literally envelops everything that you are.
Absolutely.
When you make the statement, I remember this great pastor, Charles Oliver, here in Orlando, some years back when I'd gotten over here. And maybe you all can appreciate this. He was having a marriage summit. And no, he was having a conversation, but his topic was on marriage. And the thing that he said that blew me away and left me sitting there like, you know what, that's been sitting there the whole time. We just, again, haven't read it. We tried to preach it. And he says, a man and a woman, when they come together in holy matrimony, are never married until the man and the woman say, you are my husband, you are my wife. So until that statement is made, they are not your husband, they're not your wife, no matter what the ring is, no matter what the paper says. Until that person says it and their mind is in agreement with what they've said, that person will never be your husband, will never be your wife, regardless of the document, regardless of the seal of the state or the county or the country, pastor. That person will only be yours on paper. They're not yours in heart and soul. So when David says, as king of the greatest nation on the planet at this time, Yahweh is the reason for all. That's what he's saying. Yahweh's the reason for all of this. Can we fast forward? His son Solomon. Solomon does something so much like his daddy that this point I feel sort of kind of gets missed. He creates what his father began and brings it to greater opulence, the nation of Israel, the city of Jerusalem, the temple, the mansion of his house. He does all of this, and he always makes this statement, Yahweh. I don't think, and again, I'm being subjective here, but I don't think that Solomon takes any credit for what was built. Here's how I wonder. Here's how I come to that deduction. There was a woman who came halfway around the world. She was the Queen of Sheba. She comes, and everybody always thinks that, her and Solomon connected, they got hooked up, the king, the queen, they both, whatever. And they had, she came halfway around the world with camels full of homage gifts to him. She says, for one reason, to ask hard questions, not about how he governs, not about how his merchants make money, not about how his ships and for war are always on point and his military is always on deck. She comes to ask, listen to this, and this is because of David. This statement is because of what David says in Psalms 1 that he infiltrated into his children. She says, I came to ask hard questions about this Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she came.
Mm-hmm.
She came to ask this question regarding the self-existent and eternal one, who you, David, Solomon, give all credit for this great splendorous city and nation that you now have, that we all have to come and give homage to. Tell me more about Yahweh. To this day, Ethiopia is still impacted by that one inquiry about the self-existent and eternal creator of heaven and earth and all that therein dwells. So when we say that Yahweh is my shepherd, don't just say it because they taught you how to say that in your mourning process of death, or you heard the pastors preceding the body coming in to the funeral arrangement or going out to the actual internment site. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me. No, that's not the time for that. That's not a death thing. That is a life thing. And this is where many of us miss the power of the word. Again, it don't take us forever to read the word. It takes us forever to let the word into us.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Doc. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hold the platform up that long.
Oh, I didn't have anything to say that, but you made a good point at the end. How long does it take the word to get into us? And just think, David didn't have what we have, the 66 books, but somehow he got the word of Yahweh down on the inside. Else, again, he would have never been able to proclaim with such strength that Yahweh is his shepherd. Like, you can't tell me anything. You can't dispute it. You can't make me think any otherwise. He is my shepherd. Like, I don't know what it is for you, but for me, I can give you countless witnesses of what he's done. I can give you testimonies. I can give you a timeline of what he's done for me. He's here for me. We have the moon and we have street lights, but David was in the dark at night. He had to have night vision. That was his shepherd, Yahweh. We can hear, and those of us that need hearing aids, we use those, but he could hear because Yahweh gave him the opportunity. He was his shepherd. He protected him to be able to hear. So when you think about that, if we could get the word in us the way David had it about Yahweh, it would be less problematic. We would be more unbothered by things, people, situations, circumstances. We would trust him. We would literally see more signs and miracles and wonders. You can't tell me that David didn't understand signs and miracles and wonders because it was just he, Yahweh, and the sheep. And the sheep not really talking.
You
So you
know,
got to talk to somebody.
that might be the issue. That might be the issue, like you said, that we have 66 books. Well, he had Yahweh. So that might be the issue that we have, because we have something to read and something to refer to, something that we think we know and something that we think we can tell people what Yahweh thought or what, and that's the issue. See, he had Yahweh. That's all he had. That's why I like the define of shepherd. He was my friend. He was my companion, right? Like you said, we have the benefits of street lights. Well, he had the stars. When there was a moon, he had the light of the moon. But other than that, he had to trust Yahweh. He literally was his helper, right? He was, when he had to deal with the bear, he was Yahweh Uzai, his strength, right? If he got sick, he was Yahweh Rapha, my healer. Yahweh literally was his companion out there with with the sheep and the cow and just the grass and the dog running around. That was his companion. So he didn't have anything to refer to other than Yahweh himself. That's who he talked to. That's who he spent time with. That's who he got to know. That's why he knew his character. And that's why when he was in the field, Yahweh is his shepherd, right? When he got to deal with Goliath, Yahweh is my shepherd. Then when he had to deal with Saul and the spirits bothering him, Yahweh is, as he played so beautifully and so effortlessly, Yahweh is my shepherd. And then when he was on the run, saw Saul in the cave and his men was ready to kill him. We ain't got to do that. Watch this. Just cut a little bit of his hem off because his friend told him what to do. His friend taught him to respect and honor the one that was anointed by Yahweh, because he was anointed to be king, to do a job.
Absolutely.
To do a job. He was anointed to be king. So I'm not going to touch what Yahweh anointed, but I'm going to let you know I was there. I could have.
Mhm.
But I spared your life. Why? Because Yahweh, my friend, my companion, taught me well when I was out there in the field with the sheep. As a little boy, he trained me and raised me up. I'm the man I am today because he is my shepherd.
You know, the beauty of that too, Juan, as you were talking, and Dr. Mathis was sharing as well about Yahweh is. He didn't have streetlights. And what he says in Psalms, I believe it's 105 or 118, 118, 105, things that I could be wrong. It's either 118 or 119. He says, thy word is a lamp to my feet. Thy word is a light that shows me the path I should follow. That's why even in here, he reiterates that. And he says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thy rod, your word, and thy staff, your word, they comfort me. And the word in verse 4, that is they comfort, that word is the Hebrew word H5162, and it is the word naham. And it means, watch this, it causes me to breathe strongly. It shows me and gives me favorable sensing. This word is reflexive. So when people do understand what he is talking about, he is letting you know that your word has the ability to show me where to go. Your word, listen. Your word is a lamp unto my feet. You showed me in your word, by your word, how to take Goliath out with your word. Because people don't get it. Now make this a quote. I hope I still got my IT team kicking in with me. Watch this. Make this a quote. He goes on to say, David, we have scriptures, but David had a script. Okay. Class. We have the scriptures. Some of y'all call it the scriptures. We have the scriptures, but David had a script. Now, a script is an actual pouch. We call it a man purse today. Y'all women call it a purse. So the shepherds and most people who were merchants, they would have a script. Now, in that script, it would be maybe the size of, something like a man bag today, like a fanny pack, right? But it would go over the shoulders. But what they would do is when they would write down at night while he's under the stars, thinking about what God has done and what he needs to do and how God has led him through and pushed him in, and remembering how he killed, Goliath and how he had to deal with Saul and all of his mindset and how he had to deal with that lion. Because who's going to fight a lion? Thy word showed me the weakness in the lion. Thy word showed me the weakness in the bear. Y'all, I get too excited about this stuff. So we have scriptures, but David had a script. So what it is the difference between the script and the scriptures is that David had that hidden. That's what he was saying. Thy word have I hid in my script. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against you. We always get caught up in the sin part. No. Anything that goes outside of how he says should be done is transgressive of his will. David stays on course with what the light shows him, and that light is the word. Your word is a light into my path. He goes on and it indicates that it leads me to green pastures. It guides me beside still waters. Oh, and by the way, when I sit down and reflectively go into this and I have those moments of what do we call introspection, it restores my soul. You know what? They told me never be around three women and do all the talking. So I'm gonna sit down over here. It's just going. They're gonna come back and eat you up later on. But that's all a joke, guys. That's all a joke. But the beauty of it is, as Wanda was saying, she was like, he's like, hey, I'm sitting here And Dr. Mathis is saying, your word gives me sight in darkness. Think about what was said. He says, even Yahweh says, when you obey my word, your darkness, everybody's going to have darkness, but your darkness will be as if you were in the noonday. I don't think we get that in Christendom. Oh, he'll make your bright day shine. No, he is saying in darkness with everyone will have. Man must work while it is day, because night come when man can't work. And Yahweh says, when you obey my word, when midnight comes, you'll see as if it was you. Got, I think it was Dr. Mathis, or was it one of y'all said you got night vision. See, there is no darkness to Elohim. He sees clearly into every part of the balance of night and day. He don't see different in the nighttime in the daytime. And he's telling you, when you have my word in you, when you're my friend, when you're my heart, I see like he sees in night or in day.
That's so good. How often have we been unsure, not being able to see our way, and we open up his word, and suddenly the light of his word shines into that situation, and suddenly, I understand now. Look, I can see. I understand now. I understand why this is happening. I understand what to do. I understand where to go. I have clarity. That's because the light.
I see that. I see how you're coming. I see your spirit. I see the game you playing. Oh, I see now. I was blind, but now. Okay,
Come on.
But now I see. Why you stop? I'm sorry to interrupt you. My bad.
No, go ahead. But there is so much. Although you went past the Yahweh, that's still the Yahweh is.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Yahweh is. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he literally is your light. We like to say, he's my light in darkness. He literally is. He is. When you filter everything through the word. So go ahead.
What happens when you take what you're going to eat, meats or whatever else it could be, and you put them through a process of proper heating, proper marination? You can have the best piece of meat and take it out and just drop it in a skillet. You haven't tenderized it. You haven't seasoned it. You haven't let it sit in that seasoning. Oh, it'll be a meal. It'll be protein, but it doesn't have that taste that makes you remember that meal.
Yeah.
Ponder that meal. Go ahead, Dr. Mathis.
No, you're right on it. And that's what Yahweh does for us, right? As Wanda was saying, it's you have this thing with him, and he shows you really literally who he is. You don't ever have to have a doubt. It's just like when you go back to Genesis 28:15, where he says, Jacob, I will be with you. I will not leave you until I've done all, not some, all that I've shown you, all that I've spoken to thee of. In other words, I want to remind you, yep, I was with Abram, and I was with Isaac. I'm with you, and I'm going to do this thing. But it didn't stop there. And that's where people miss. If we could get him down on the inside. You said earlier about, there's some people, they have read the Bible 2, 3, 5 times in 1 year. I'm always concerned about that. Because you didn't get much of anything. And don't nobody come for me, because you didn't get much of anything.
Mm-mm.
It takes time and consistency to get his word down in you. As long as I've been doing this, if I'm reading something and my mind cats off somewhere else, I'm going back to that scripture. I'm going back to that verse. I'm going back to that chapter. I don't want to miss anything. If it's something that seems like it's not really clicking right now, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to get it until it clicks. Because that means Yahweh is trying to share something with me. And as we know, Satan, a certified crazy one, wants that to be dismissed. So, okay, bravo if you read the Bible 5 times in 1 year, but I have concern.
I'm concerned. I got
I'm
major
scared.
problems.
Yeah.
I really have major. I call that type of person a spiritual fidget.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because all you're doing is fidgeting with it. You don't know. You just touching it because that's the nice viral thing. That's the stylish thing to do. You know nothing of its context. You know nothing of its texture. And the problem is we take too much time trying to be relevant to humanity rather than letting the word be our relevance. And when David says the Lord is my shepherd, again, he is not talking because God gave him a job. David didn't want to be no shepherd. He was relegated to that because he was the black sheep, if you will, of the family. So he had to do what he was told to do, and he did it well. He just did what he was supposed to do. He knew he wasn't going to have the favor his other brothers had.
Not at all.
And see, that's the problem. See, they played with it. That's why when they went to war, and though they look like military men, Saul was like, "Oh, they look like fighters." Who's this runt carrying cheese and bread and screaming at the top of his lung, "How dare you defy the name Yahweh of Israel?" And then looking at them like, "Why y'all letting this man say this stuff about Yahweh or Elohim?" Man, I done killed a bear because of his words in my script. Then he puts the 5 smooth stones in that same script. And then he says, look, if y'all not going to say something to this mammoth of a man, I'm going to come to him. Watch what he says. I come to you in the name that you blaspheme. In the name that gives me my light. In the name that has fed me and kept my, a matter of fact, in the name that gives me the ability to bring this cheese and bread to you, to my brothers. But what you're not going to do, can I give you the VWJ translation? What you're not going to do while I'm here delivering this bread, cheese, and maybe some wine, I probably drank the wine all the way up here. That is not in the scriptures. But what we're not going to do is have you scream from across there while we having our dinner about the God that provided this dinner.
Yeah.
Come on, put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on
Some respect on the name. There you go.
And then watch this. And the word Elohim Yahweh guided him to not just any stones, but it guided him to pick each of the 5 smooth stones. Now, the I hate this term, but I got to use it. The theological takeaway from that, for those that may not know this, I think we do, is that 5 is the number of books that the Torah consists of. What do you think Yahweh was trying to tell us?
Almost screamed. Come on.
You should have screamed right there.
Listen. You need it. Come on. You need it.
And he just used one. Now you got some theological seminary perspectives, and there is some degree of validity to it, where Goliath had other brothers. So some of them took it and meant that he went and put those 5, the remaining stones to kill his other brothers. Don't have enough validation on that, but I do know he had 4 other major conquests.
Yes, he did.
Before he died.
With those brethren.
And these issues are because that word will handle whatever size, image, texture, mindset, financially, health-wise, that comes your way. It's all in your script. But do you carry a script, or you carrying the scriptures?
We can leave now. It's over. Thank y'all for coming.
Hallelujah. It's true. Now, note now that when David was talking about this uncircumcised individual, although they were all trembling in their boots, here's something that people miss. They weren't surprised by this giant that they were looking at.
Right.
They had a familiarity because this was nothing new.
No.
So when we have issues and we have obstacles and trials and things that we are going through, right, Wanda? Why do we act so surprised? My flesh is annoyed, and yes, I'm a little surprised that it's gotten a little this deep, but I'm not surprised in the spiritual realm and the spiritual aspect of it because Yahweh has always proven himself to be my shepherd. So I can thus say I'm unbothered because I know that I'm not going to remain here in this. This is not going to continue to circumference me. It's not going to continue to surround me because he's going to bring me out. They weren't surprised. And a lot of people, even the theologians, miss that. They don't talk about that. They're too busy being motivational speakers at the point in time. But, that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying. But they weren't surprised about the height and all of that.
Mm-mm.
But they forgot about the fact that you are blaspheming the God of Israel
That made your big behind.
that made the baby.
I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? My bad. It's a
And you all are trembling as if he has not done anything for you. Perhaps you weren't the generation that made it through the Red Sea, but you knew about it and you knew it held validity. But you were able to experience some things that will say, if he's done thus and thus and thus, that he definitely can do this. And Satan certified crazy one talks really loud, talks very loud when you just right there for your victory, right there for your deliverance, right there for the shift. The trajectory of your landscape is getting ready to change. And he is loud. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's loud.
and the thing about loud people, as we do, and we're going to use what Dr. Mathis had, want to dovetail into this. And I'm going to say this to every viewer that's here, archived or live, panelist or not. When anybody comes at you talking vehemently, loudly, obtrusely about what they got to say, they don't know nothing.
Nothing.
Because you can't force me to understand something I'm already foundationally established in. David is like, your word. Your word. And look at what he does as a boy. He says, Yahweh, your word has made me fight a bear, help me kill a lion, and watch over your people. Your word led me down the proper ravine to get here. He says, your word, and this man is talking against your word like he know you loud and big and bad. I mean, his breath had to be hellacious. Think about it. This man, 9 foot.
He's big. His head is big.
9 foot. Now, I'm a basketball player, so I know tall people. This man is 9 foot and thick as a house. But it wasn't nothing new to him.
Nope.
Even Saul, if he might have been a foot shorter, might have really tried to fight him. Saul wasn't a chump.
No.
But they forgot who brought them thus far.
Right.
This is so good.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's
Oh.
it right there. The difference. I'm sorry, Prophet Leslie. That's the difference. An army that is representing Yahweh. This is supposed to be Yahweh's army, right? Representing Yahweh versus a boy who knows Yahweh.
Just because he knows his word, thy word, thy rod, thy staff, both of them are his word. They comfort me, not Saul's armor, not chariots.
Yeah.
It's your word that comforts me in any situation. So let me speak prophetically as I feel the shift. You that are listening and viewing, and those of you who understand his word or understand the need for his word, that you are a part of the army that represents him. You need to not just be a part of those who carry the uniform. You need to be the part of them who are informed of what his word says. His word is your healing. His word is your finance. His word is your debt buster. His word is your confusion. He is your comfort. He is your battle axe. He is your attorney. He is Yahweh Sabaoth. He's the Lord, your protector. All of these things you got to know, no matter how big Goliath looks, what form Goliath comes in, whether you are in debt, whether you are in a lawsuit, whether you are in a jam, whether your peers have turned on you, whether your church has said you're talking too loud, whether you got mom who don't care for you, mom or dad talk about you, whatever your Goliath is, you got to remember my comfort is in his word.
Yes. Yes. That part.
And you got to say, Yahweh, you are my shepherd.
Yeah.
I got to go. I got church to do. Y'all got nothing.
You do, and I want to thank you, y'all. I'm gonna let you close us out in a minute, Apostle. But this
Elder
too,
Wanda, Prophetess Leslie. I love when y'all let me come. I just act like a little child. I see now I can be just me and listen to y'all dissect and break down the word. And yeah.
well,
Today is Dr. Mathis' birthday.
oh, I didn't know that. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday
To me.
Many
Happy
blessings.
birthday to you.
Yes, I'm 29.
Happy birthday, Dr. Mathis.
Hey, Happy birthday
Birthday to you. Happy
to
birthday. Yeah, that part.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
many
you.
Happy
blessings.
birthday, mommy.
Thank you, baby. I'm 29 today.
We gotta give
Amen.
we gotta give it back to Prophetess. This is her show, y'all. We act like we
Come on, Prophetess.
This her. Prophetess, go ahead.
Sorry, no Prophetess Leslie.
Why, thank you. The blessings, so many blessings to you. May the rest of your years be even greater than they have been. We just bless you. We thank you for coming on. I would have had my little birthday celebration up there if I knew it, but I didn't. But there's two
Told me not to
scriptures.
say nothing. She told me not to say nothing.
Yeah, she knows she in trouble. I'm smiling, but she knows she in
I
trouble.
know she in trouble right now. You're gonna admit it.
Ah,
And look, you better know the Lord is your shepherd.
right.
He is my shepherd, mother.
All caps, all caps, all caps.
Come on.
But
Yes,
there's two
yes, shalom,
scriptures I
right
want to say and then allow Apostle to close us out. And the one is Psalms 27, the 1st verse.
Mhm.
You know, Yahweh is my light, what we've been talking about. I guess I say y'all have been talking about, and my salvation.
Mhm.
And the Apostle was just speaking on those terms. Whom shall I fear?
Ooh,
Yahweh is the strength of my life. Of
Mm.
whom shall I be afraid?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked about Goliath and the Goliath in our lives, and we can actually stand on that alone. The light, we talked about the light, all that is in there. And then in Micah 7, it says, I think it's the 7th and 8th verse, it says, therefore I will look unto Yahweh. I will wait for Elohim of my salvation. My Elohim will hear me. And then the 8th verse says, rejoice not against me or my enemies. When I fall, I will rise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be the light unto me.
amen.
Apostle, I turn it back over to you.
Well, listen
Yeah.
again. We want to thank Yahweh because for many of us, He is literally of us. He is our shepherd. But for few of us, do we know how to tap into all that really means? And the greatest way that can be done, as Elder Wanda and Dr. Mathis and Prophetess Leslie are trying to promote, as myself, is this: you live in a voice-activated kingdom, and when you get out of the scriptures and allow yourself to become a script for His word.
Lifestyle.
Now you can say, because you know He is my shepherd, I shall not want. And it's an attitude. Doesn't matter what come at you. So today, as we take this opportunity to really let what's been said ponder and sink in, we want to give Yahweh thanks. We thank Yahweh for Leslie's Lessons Learned platform that just pronounced to the world the greatness of Elohim. We want to thank Yahweh for the reality that enough is enough. And we're praying that Yahweh will amplify through that programming and teaching that all of you should get connected to, get the information on Enough is Enough coming up in California. be there. I'm gonna do my very best to get there.
Plane, train, and automobiles. Get there whatever way you can.
Or angel drop off. I don't
Or
care.
angel.
Okay. And we also want to thank Yahweh for Dr. Mathis. All the
Amen.
years of great wisdom and understanding and raising women up like Elder Wanda and so many more across the world. These are things that we want to give Yahweh praise for. And when we see these types of testimonials, all we can do is lift our hands. I lift my hands in total praise to you. Yahweh, we thank you for this opportunity. We thank you for this day and time. We do lift our voice in praise to you because of what you've done and what only you can do. So, Father, we ask now that as we leave this meeting, you bring these words back to our hearts and minds to ponder, that we now become a script, not just carrying the scriptures. In the precious and mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we pray and say, now may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahweh lift his countenance upon you and grant you all 13 attributes of his shalom. This we pray in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen.
That benediction right there, we're going to have to talk about it one day. After last year when I was sick and I heard Apostle said it, it changed my life. Dr. Mathis, the chat is lit up with happy birthday towards you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yes. Listen, meet me back here tonight at 5. We'll be talking about retirement. We'll have a panel and what it is to be in retirement. This is just one phase of it. We're going to have in a couple of weeks 2 people coming on talking about preparation for retirement. So at 5 p.m. Eastern time, if you're available, join us back here again. And to each and one of you, Dr. Mathis, enjoy the rest of your day, Apostle. As you're getting ready to bring forth the word, we pray that Yahweh would just allow Ruach to lead you and guide you. Minister Wanda, thank you as always for being here. And until we meet again, have an amazing, blessed rest of the day.
Shalom.
God bless.